In this video, I'm going to show you how to hit a basic chip shot. We're going to go through the basic setup, what clubs to use, and a few of my best tips for hitting crisp pitch shots that get you within a few feet every time. Hey there, my name is Zach. I'm the founder of the DIYgolfer.com, where my mission is to help you shoot your lowest score ever. In today's shot type series, we're talking about the basic chip shot. Now this is going to be a little bit different than the basic pitch shot, which I have a separate video on. And in this case, we're going to be just altering our setup a little bit, and that's really the only change we're making. So for the basic pitch shot, I'll walk you through the setup, and then we'll go through some different scenarios. What you're going to want to do is get a club. We're going to talk about club choice in a second, but get a club, maybe like a pitching wedge or a 9-iron, maybe even an 8-iron if you've got quite a bit of green to roll it on. And what I want you to do is get lined up to the ball, and if you're a righty, put that right foot equal with the ball. Then what you're going to do is address the club face, and then you're going to just open your feet and put them almost touching together. They don't have to touch, but get them pretty close together. And then I want you to lean the shaft forward a little bit. Right here, this is your basic chip shot setup. And from here, all we're doing is just a really dead hands back and forth, almost like a putting motion, and we're letting the low loft of this club kind of let the rest happen and roll out to the pin. So let me show you what this looks like. The pin's way back there. We got plenty of green to roll it on, so I've chosen a 9-iron. Like I said, we'll talk about that club choice in a second. So line up that foot, club face, shaft lean forward, open stance. We're just going to kind of pick our landing spot just in front of us and make a putting stroke basically. And as you can see, got a nice little 2-footer for par. It rolled up there, didn't really fly in the air, not a very risky shot whatsoever, and that is the basic chip shot. Now I want to talk about a few variations of this. Unlike the pitch shot, where there's literally an infinite number of variations, there's kind of a finite number of cases where you're going to hit the chip shot. And let's first talk about the club choice. So if you're someone like Phil Mickelson, you're going to use your 60-degree wedge for literally every shot, and that's just his preference. If he needs to hit it low, he'll throw it way back in the stance, almost behind that, his left foot, but my right foot, and really just chop down and keep it low that way. Now, many golfers do not do that. Many golfers will choose different clubs, and that's where I would fall into in that category, where if I have this shot, I'm not going to pull out a 60-degree. I'm just pulling out like a 9 or maybe even an 8 or a 7-iron and just basically putting it. And you could even go as far as maybe even a hybrid or something, especially if you're kind of up against the collar of this rough and it's really hard. You're going to get, a 9-iron stuck. A hybrid might make sense to just kind of putt it through that collar. So I'm going to grab a couple clubs and just show you how that looks with each of them. So I already hit the 9-iron. I'm going to grab like let's call it a 5-iron and then maybe 56-degree. And by the way, you'll see I'm not wearing a glove. Well, I was for the pitch shot video, and that's totally personal preference. I don't like to wear a glove. You'll probably see me in some videos wearing one. It's kind of off and on for me, but it doesn't really matter. Anyways, we've got a 5-iron here and a 56-degree here. So gonna take a tee and put that in the ground and prop up this grip so it doesn't get wet. Little tip right there. And with this 5-iron, I'm not going to have to swing barely at all. It's just going to be really just a putting motion. And this ball is going to pop up, and my landing spot's going to literally be right here, and that's all that I need to focus on. So we'll get behind the ball, kind of imagine the loft of this chip shot, and I think I need to land it somewhere in here. So I'll pick a spot, and that's where I'm going to land it. Right foot lined up, open the stance, feet together, club a little bit forward, and then just a little putting motion. And similar to the pitch shot, we're going to want a grip pressure of maybe a 5 out of 10. So pretty light, but enough to secure the club. So that one's up just a couple inches, but you could see the ball barely got in the air at all. It was almost basically a putt. And so that's the beauty of the chip shot, is when you've got some, you know, obstructions and a putt is not going to work very well, then you can take, you know, a low lofted club and basically just putt it. Now let me show you the 56 degree just for some variety. So the only thing that changes here, nothing changes with the technique. I'm just going to pick a different landing spot a little bit further up. So we'll get in here, pick our landing spot, and go. Didn't quite get that one there, but that is why you probably don't want to hit a 56 degree from just on the fringe. And speaking of that, in this scenario where I'm literally on the fringe and the green is right here, the best choice is probably the putter. And that's something that I've done throughout, you know, my time playing golf, is if I can putt it, I'm going to. And in this case, there's pretty smooth grass in front of me, and I would probably putt this almost every time. Now, if you're sitting here in the rough, obviously you cannot putt this because, well, you could putt it. Honestly, for some golfers, that may make sense. Just putt it, you're close enough. But like, let's put it way back here. You're not going to putt that. You're going to have to chip it, and the fundamentals are exactly the same. Now, the rough is going to provide a couple different scenarios, which way the grass is leaning, what type of grass that you're chipping out of. I don't have time to get into all of that. You can check out my shot scenario series in the video description. But overall, it's mostly the same technique. Let me get rid of this 5-iron real quick, and we'll show you. So I got a 56 degree here. Same technique. Landing spot, pop it up. That one might go in. Nope, almost. So as you can see, there's a lot of different scenarios that you can use the chip shot. Now, the only scenarios I would not recommend hitting a chip shot is if you have a bit of distance, so like 20 yards. That's going to be really tough to rotate if you got that closed, narrow stance, or not closed, totally open, narrow stance, shaft leaning forward and back in the stance. It's really hard to take a full swing in this setup. So if you are pretty far out, don't hit the chip. Also, in a bunker, never really a good time to hit a chip. But overall, anything like within a couple yards around the green is going to be a great opportunity to hit that chip. And I'd recommend practicing all sorts of different clubs and getting comfortable with how high they're going to travel from this setup and what sort of landing points you need to pick on the green to make that work. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, learned at least one thing from it, and if you did, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give me a like on this video, and check out the full shot type series. I got a link in the description. And with that, that's just about everything. We'll see you later, and hit 'em straight.